Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and built up this very teal house that I am in right now, and I absolutely love how this thing is looking. Now outside we have quite a bit of stuff. We have grown quite a bit of sculk out here, and there is a ton of the sensors, and yeah, we've got a shrieker now. Let's just take that out. We don't need to be listening to that all the time. Where's my hoe? We don't need to be listening to that all the time. But I think today we are going to be getting another build in this area. We do need to do some of the terraforming up here just to get it so that this house is not floating anymore and make it stand out from the ground a little bit less. But I think we are going to work in another part of this bay here. And I think we're going to put the next one right here. Now, what I think this one is going to be is I think this is going to be a small little blacksmith shop. I think that this would fit really well for a underwater civilization to have. That, and every time I make a village, it seems like I need to put at least one blacksmith shop in it. And it's not one that really fits with the fairy forest, but should down here, I think. Even though we can't put fire or lava down here, we do have some ideas of what we can do. So we've got a small little area here, got a couple anvils to put down the side, and I think that'll work really good. Now we do need to get that set up around here and also figure out how I'm filling in some of this area just to make it a little more even. We're not going to really tear out a whole bunch, but I don't want everything going up and down constantly. Mostly so it will be a little bit easier to kind of keep everything nice and smooth, and the paths won't be constantly being very choppy. And it'll also help a little bit with planning out where some of the builds need to go. I guess we'll figure that out. I'm still trying to think about how I want to do some of this area. But you probably noticed that the conduit is gone. We've gone and hidden that underneath the ground here. So now we just have a nice range of conduit power over here, and we don't have to see the conduit, which is really nice. But that's enough of getting distracted by the terrain and trying to figure out what I want to do with that. Let's get back to the little shop. So, for our little blacksmith shop here, we're going to have our little work area right over here. We've got a couple anvils already in. And behind this, I think we're going to put in the forge. Now, we're going to have a couple things of dark prismarine, and I think that's probably what we're going to build most of this out of. And that's mostly because it is the darkest of the teal blocks that we have. And so I think it'll go really well for a nice burnt area. And hello, drowned. We really need to grab some sea pickles to put over here to get those drowns gone. Now, we'll just deal with them. It's kind of nice being able to just grow more sculk here at will. So for the size of this, we'll go up one here, one, and we're going to have a thing of lower slabs in the front of this. Put in a few things of magma blocks. Those are just going to create some slightly annoying bubble columns for now, until we can get the back of this thing in. That will go up there, and this will create a nice little roof for this whole section. I'm going to put in a couple slabs in the front here and stair just to kind of give this a little hood kind of section. And that slab there will complete the overhang. Why is it still giving me bubble particles there? Interesting. Anyway, now we just need to get the chimney to kind of get rid of all of the non-existent smoke. We can't actually have smoke because we can't fit a campfire into this. Not that it would stay lit underwater anyway, but I guess this would actually reroute some of the hot water out and away from the area, so I guess that works and makes sense. I think the magma will work really well for the fire since we can't do lava or actual fire. And I think this looks better than just sticking in a blast furnace and pretending from there. Now for our building, we're just going to have that here along the side. It's going to go through here. We need to put in a doorway, blocks in. That'll be so that our smiths can get out into the smithing area. Not that this isn't already an open space, which we will kind of cover this up a little bit later. But we'll have a door there, and I think we're going to use some prismarine for this. This is just going to be a really, really small little shop area, but I don't think we need a really, really big area for this. And now what I think we're going to do is we're going to, that's sculk, we want sculk veins along the edge here to kind of darken up. Now, that's not going to do anything about the inside and a good chunk of the forge side here, but I think that this will look really, really nice. Now along the sides here, we're going to do our same little details that we did on the other one, except that we're not going to put in the warped logs this time. We're just going to put warped planks. I think that'll work just fine. So we'll put in a warped door there. Gonna put in those there. And right in here, we're going to stick in another little stair-based window that we can kind of look out into the forge from inside the house here. That'll look really nice. And then on the sides here, we'll do kind of the same thing, except this one will be made out of slabs. That way we can center it on the wall and it will look a little nicer. Now, once again, along the top, we're going to put in the prismarine bricks, and we're going to keep our warped fences along that and our oxidized copper on top of each of our pillars. It's just going to keep things kind of the same, and I think that's pretty nice. Now, again, we still have to get the flooring in and of course this other wall, but I think that'll work quite well. Alright, so with the other two walls in and apparently a drowned inside the building, we now have all of the walls in, and it's about time we get this roof in. So what I think we're going to do is on the side closest to the forge, we're just going to do slabs. Just going to do another oxidized copper roof. But this one, we're going to kind of wrap it around here, like so. And then it's just going to be a flat roof. Nothing super special. Just a nice flat space on top of the building. Now, for the inside, what we're going to do is we are going to have a bunch of warped planks here. Let's get one slab in there so we can actually get this not going the right way. Apparently, I cannot figure out what direction stuff needs to go in. So we need one going this way, and that should hopefully be enough to maybe start out our flooring pattern in here. But we're just going to use warp stems for this. We will just alternate them like that, and then they're all going to be stripped so that we have a nice light blue teal flooring. We'll put in our usual warped door on both of our entrances here, and I think that will give us a nice little flooring pattern. Now on the inside here, we're going to have a little counter and a trap door. That way we can have the customers come in on this side. Actually get a rough little path here marked out. Still just using the prismarine. Not quite figured out if I want to mix anything in with that, but it does work really, really well for a cobblestone road, especially if we want to keep going with this teal color. And then we'll have the back area where people can order stuff from the smiths. I don't know what we can really put back here. Maybe an armor stand? I think an armor stand probably would be good. Probably maybe put some tridents and item frames on the wall. That might look good as well. We should probably get a light in here somehow. I know it doesn't look too dark, but that's mostly because we have the conduit power on. But then we also have this door that goes out to the forge, where we are going to have a few details here. Gonna have 3 fences there, 3 fences there, and 3 fences there. That is going to hold up a little awning over the outside edge of this section. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to put some cyan carpets. Yes, you can put carpets underwater. It's really, really weird. But we're just going to have those be supported by some string. Just going to be a really, really simple awning. Just hanging over the edge here. And I think that'll add a nice little bit of detail. It'll at least give a little bit of, I guess, shade over here. And it'll help prevent our forge area from just being a pretty flat open space. So I think it'll work really well. We're not going to cover the whole area. It doesn't really need it. And I think it'll look really weird if we start putting more carpets or even full blocks of wool over here. So we're just going to stick with the 2 blocks. But I think that looks really nice. We now just need to get the terraforming in, just like we have over there. We could probably actually take out that sculk catalyst. Probably have enough sculk over here for a good chunk of the area. I'm going to have to tear all this out and figure out what we're doing in this area first. All right, so I've done a little bit of decorating inside of the building here. So we've got a little armor stand with a trident, which I think looks really good. It kind of just shows off the, whereas we might put it behind the counter, maybe up on a stand or something. I think for right now, putting it out here is probably good. Got a couple tridents on the wall there. Those might stay, those might go. I don't really know. And there is still no light source in here because I keep forgetting to. So looks like we might need to put probably a warped fence post on the wall. And then we'll hang a soul lantern from that. Anyway, we need to go see if we have a soul lantern at all. And we probably need to do something about these drowns. But as you may have noticed, we have taken out the sculk patch. And we move the catalyst over to here so that it is out of the way and we're not going to have it affect our terraforming, which is done for most of that corner over there. Now, I think that that looks pretty good. It doesn't have the warp nylium for most of it, but we do have the netherrack. And because this is underwater and we do not get anything growing on the nylium, we can kind of just hold down our button and bone meal everything up, which is really nice. I may have to build a nylium grower underwater for when I want more nylium, but I think that once that's all grown up, that'll look a lot better than the red and the blackish teal, because that does not fit down here at all. But I do like how the nylium looks with our buildings, and I think it'll look really nice. Now, I'm not sure how far up the sides of the bay here to go. Kind of just stopped here roughly at about Y54, but I don't know if we should go higher, bring it down lower. Kind of just feels about right where we start getting a little bit of a cliff there. And I know we probably definitely do not need it to go all the way up to the shores of the island. But that's something to play with later, because on the nylium, I think what we're going to do is find where I put all of my string, if I can get a break from all the drowns. Ow! I drowned. Ooh, more copper. I don't think I have any string down here. Oh well, we can put that in later. But on the nylium, we'll put some kelp, because I think we can put that on everything. We'll put in some seagrass, probably bone meal some of that to be too tall later. Just kind of give it an underwater feel. Have some corals, that'll give it a little more color. You need to get more than those 2 though. And I think we're gonna kind of put in some of those little plants that we put inside our house there, that are the warped roots in a pot. Let's get that off there before that this I had sculk under anyway. Oh, but as I was saying, warped roots in a pot with a warped wort above them. I'm not sure if that looks good there or not, but we'll probably put a few of those in. We'll put in some little fence trees with the warped wood and warped wort above them. Just kind of like this. I think that'll look good. So I think that we've got a lot more terraforming to do around here. I think that once that is done, that'll look really, really nice. I did also go and grab, as far as I know, all of the sea pickles that we have around here. So we can at least get some of those in, and that will help reduce the amount of drowns that we have. So that will help quite a bit. And I think with that, that will work really, really well. So I'm going to go get the rest of this netherrack nyliumed up and get more of the plants in, and I'll be back so we can actually see what this area is going to look like when mostly done. And there we go. We now have all of the plants in for this section that we've already gotten done here. And I think it looks really, really nice. Now, I think there's probably way too many coral fans in here, but that's just what we got bone mealing stuff up. There's also a disproportionate amount of red and yellow in here too. But other than that, I think I'm quite happy with how this turned out. We did go and put in some sculk veins and sculk sensors into here. I think they kind of are a little underwatery. Now, granted, they're going to keep being set off by all of the fish and dolphins that swim over here, which is kind of interesting, actually. So that might be a bit of an issue, and that is why we completely got rid of the sculk sensor, or not sensor, sculk shrieker that we had earlier. But I think that's looking really nice, and I can't wait to see how this looks through the rest of the area. But I think that with that, that is going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and consider subscribing if you want to see more of the progress of this bay and of the fairy forest island up there. Gotten quite a bit of trees in, and it is looking really, really nice up here. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.